All right, you guys, this is the algebra day, so the second day that we met. So here we go. So if x equals -1 and y equals 6, then plug those numbers in and we get choice E, okay? Just remember a negative squared is a positive, okay? And then this becomes a -18, so 1 minus 18 is -17, okay? All right, so if t equals -2, again, substitute -2 in right there. So -2 squared is +4. 5 times -2 is going to make that a +10. And then, of course, you got the -6 at the end, so we get E on that one. Okay, again, more plugging in. So when we plug those in, 1/2 6 times 10 is 30. Okay, easy enough. All right, so here I'm going to cancel the 4. 2 goes into 4 twice, into 10 2 times, or 5 times, sorry. 3 r's upstairs takes away 3 of the 8, so there's 5 left downstairs. 5 s's takes away 5 of these, so there's 1 s left downstairs. So when we do that, we get choice D right there. Okay, so alright, so this one here, okay, this is where we add the exponent. So we go ahead and add 2 plus 1, and there's only the b squared, and then 3 plus, there's an imaginary 1 there, so choice C. Okay, easy enough. Alright, so everything's to the 1/3 power, okay, and then powers raised to powers, we multiply those. So 12 times 1/3 is 4. And then 6 times 1/3 is 2, and then 27 to the 1/3 is the same as, whoops, I lost my 1/3 right there. That should say 1/3 right there. Is the same as the cube root of 27, and the cube root of 27 is 3, so choice A. All right, so negative exponents, you put them in the denominator, and they become a positive exponent, and anything to the 1/2 is a radical 1/2. And so it's understood to be a 1, so 16. It's understood if there's no number there, it's just a plain old square root. The square root of 16 is 4, 1/4. Okay, choice D. All right, so here we have the average price of gas increased by 10% during 1 year. If X represents the average price of gas at the beginning of the year, and if Y represents the average price of gas at the end of the year, which is true, okay? So start with 100%, that's what X is, then you add 10%, that's going to give us 110%, which is 1.1. Move the decimal over 2 places, okay? So 1.1x is our Y, because our Y is our ending part right there, so choice D on that one, okay? All right. So this year, Jose earned 3 times as much money as he earned last year. If Jose earned T dollars this year and he earned L dollars last year, which of the following represents the relationship between T and L? So we let L be last year. So Jose earned 3 times as much this year, so that's going to be this year as last year. Well, L is last year, so that gets us this guy right here, okay? All right, so here we're just going to distribute that negative through and then combine like terms. Y minus 3y squared is -2y squared. And then careful right here, minus this minus, and then, I'm sorry, minus this plus is a minus 4y, and then minus this minus 5 becomes a plus 5. So just watch when you distribute, okay? All right, so same thing, distribute. Watch out for the plus when you do a negative times a negative right there, and you add these exponents. There's a 1 and a 2, so that's going to get us choice D right there, okay? Okay, so here we're going to FOIL that out. So first times first, outer times outer, inner times inner, last times last. And if you do everything right and watch your signs, you get choice A, okay? All right, so let's factor. Factors of -8 that add to 2 are 4 times -2. So x plus 4, x minus 2. So the only one that matches it is choice B right there, okay? All right, what else do we have? So, okay, so here when you have some pieces over a denominator, each piece gets that denominator. So it's 4 over 2 plus 8x over 2. 4 over 2 is 2. 8x over 2 is 4x, so we get choice C right there. There's other ways to do this, you guys. All right, negative exponents, they go in the denominator and they become a positive exponent. So it's 1 over x squared, okay? All right, so here, let's see, so then z, okay, so this one's kind of tricky right here. Can you see this has a z and this has a z? So I'm going to pull the z out of both of those guys. We're going to GCF out the z. So we're left with 2a minus 5, and then we divide both sides. Here's z right here. It says solve for z. So when we divide both sides by 2a minus 5, we get choice D right there. Okay, so 4x minus 1 equals 5 plus 3x. This is just simple solving. So I subtracted 4x and I subtracted 3 from both sides, and I got x equals negative 4. Okay, all right, so here we have, they want us to solve for x, so we're going to add d to both sides and then divide by 3, and we get choice E. Okay, all right, so here, whoops, I didn't give us this problem here. Let's go backwards here. I've got to do this anyway. So, okay, so it says Mei Li can paint a certain room in about 5 hours, and Alicia can paint the same room in 4 hours. So approximately how many hours will it take for both of them if they work together? Okay, so this is a classic one. So let me explain how I'm getting these x over 5s and x over 4s. Okay, so if Mei Li can paint it in 5 hours, then in 1 hour she gets 1/5 of the job done. In 2 hours she gets 2/5 of the job done. So in x hours she'll get x/5 of the job done. And since Alicia can do it in 4 hours, similarly she gets x/4 of the job done. So I'm going to let x be the number of hours that they work together. So here's Mei Li's work plus Alicia's work. It's going to equal 1 completed job right there. So this is our equation right there. And we don't like fractions, so we'll get rid of them by multiplying by a common denominator. Okay, so 5 goes into 24 times, so we get 4x. 4 goes into 25 times, so we get 5x. So 4x plus 5x equals 20. 9x equals 20. And when you divide by 9, 9 goes into 22 times with 2 left over. 2 and 2/9. Notice it says approximately, so it'll take them approximately 2 hours on that. Okay. All right. Mario paddles his canoe upstream for 3 hours. When he returns around and paddles back to his starting point, so the distance is the same. He went up and then came back to the same spot. So it took him only 1 hour. So the river flows at 3 miles per hour. How fast can Mario paddle in still water? So I let R equals Mario's rate in still water. Okay, remember distance equals rate times time. So when you go upstream and he returns back, he goes downstream, he goes the same distance. Okay. Okay, so upstream he goes against the current. So here he is fighting the current, and the current is going at 3 miles per hour. So it's Mario's rate minus the 3 miles per hour times the time. Distance equals, so remember, distance equals rate times time. His rate is his rate minus the current. Okay, and the time it took is 3 hours. His distance going downstream is the rate plus the current. Remember, you're walking up the escalators in the airport, how you go faster? Well, same when you're going downstream. Only took him an hour, so rate times time. So go ahead and solve for R, and we get R equals 6. So choice D on that one. Okay, classic Algebra 1. One more, and then I'll stop it after this. Okay, what is the slope of the line through those points? Slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It doesn't matter if we make this x1 y1 and this x2 y2 or make them reversed. You'll get the same answer, you guys. Okay, so 3 minus 2 over 4 minus 2 gets us 1/2 right there, choice C. And how I tell my kids is x has 2 legs to it. The 2 legs will hold up the fraction better. The y only has 1 leg. The y's not good downstairs. It won't hold up the fraction because it only has 1 leg, okay? I know it's dumb, but dumb things are good to help me remember. All right, I'll stop here, you guys.